meetings. Again, I welcome all participants. I'm happy that you came. ENOG is an important event. After every meeting of ours, we have new contacts, new cooperation, new businesses, new technologies are introduced into life, because without the people, the new technologies can't be introduced anyway. My brief report is on the UA domain. We've shifted the accents a little bit. We're going to share this time with Dmitry Kokhmanyuk. We'd like to give you a larger picture on the UA domain. Briefly on internet in Ukraine, 59% of the population, of the adult populace, use internet. It's more than 22 million people. In the last year, this percentage grew from 55 to 59%. Distribution of internet in the large cities is 68%, in towns 62%, and in villages 45%. These are the most important potential growth areas for the internet development. The UA domain now accounts for 562,000 domains. That's fortunately in the last 2 years, so we see the decrease. In the last year, the decrease of domains is 50%, which is caused by both the situation in domain markets in the world, the appearance of new domains, the fall in the interest of the domains, but also the situation of the economy inside the country. The business field requires more money, and therefore it leads to the decrease in the amount of domains. Nevertheless, 89% of the registered domains are delegated. In other words, they're used for business, for work, for private pages, and the prolongation coefficient, which is the trust factor, is 80 to 90%. The domain space of the UA domain consists of such domains as the upper level domain, which is like a trademark, then the sectoral domains, like ComUA, OGUA. ComUA is the most popular for commercial organizations, and also regional UA domains, like it's in Odessa, it's Odessa UA in Odessa, in Kiev it's Kiev.ua, in Lviv it's Lviv.ua, based on the names of the regional administrative units. The registrars. The domain registration is provided by more than 100 registrars. In the last years, we see the concentration on the market. We have 5 largest registrars. From 2013 till recently, grew almost by 4%. The registrars stress on new technologies. They use DNSSEC, IPv6, EPV protocols in their operations in order to send applications as well. In the UA domain, what's interesting, we have task forces, we discuss new technologies, the introduction of new services. We discuss these topics with the registrars and present these new possibilities. As regards the IPv6, in the UA domain, we have 6 name servers. All of them work both IPv4 and IPv6. Practically all of them are anycast, apart from one server. We use the most modern technologies, and all the servers are located in various parts of the world and are reliable support to the UA domain. For public domains, ComUA and KievUA, it's an obligatory requirement, is the presence of the IPv6 address. This requirement has been operating for 6 years, for the last 4 years, so basically we can work with the IPv6. The registration EPP protocol, the registration of name servers with the IPv6 addresses became simple and comfortable. For quite a while we have been checking or testing the IPv6 status on the domain status. Using the domain status for this, we apply to one of the hubs which receives the most traffic, the DNS queries, and on this picture, on the slide, You can see the status in 2013 and 15. Nowadays, the queries on IPv6 constitute approximately 40%. For the users, IPv6 is also nothing new. More than 18% of the delegated domains use the IPv6 addresses to maintain their web pages. DNSSEC is also one of the new technologies. Ukraine in 2011 was generated with a key, given with a key. This took place in the during the conference, which was dedicated to our domain in December. On the slide, you can see the parameters. I mean, it was quite lengthy, but still, during this time, we performed several conferences. We held several conferences, presented on new technologies, many top-level domains facing the situation that there's no interest from the users in the DNSSEC. Even though this domain has been delegated under DNSSEC as well, the interest is still weak. But nevertheless, we have 18 registries in DS, and very recently several large banks showed their interest in this technology. They signed their web pages with the DNSSEC key, and further on they will work under this technology. On the web page you can see the web page where you can find relevant information on the issue. The cooperation with the RIPE NCC, RIPE delegates IP addresses for local internet registries for LIRs. Here you see the growth. You can see the growth of the delegated IP addresses on the IPv6, and at the same time you can see the growth in the numbers of LIRs who receive the 4 stars, so meaning that they're not just receive the IP addresses, but they're actively used in their infrastructure and they're offered to the users. Now this number is approximately 29%, which means 29% of the LIRs, local internet registries, use the IPv6 addresses. Also like to tell you about the IPv6 workshop. Our company, jointly with the large internet associations, providers, and other internet stakeholders in the internet, we perform workshops where we spread knowledge on IPv6, on new technologies. These workshops we started implementing this since 2011. From 2011-12 we organized several conferences. In the future this activity went on Facebook, to which many of you are subscribers, where you can see the reports on any news or technical breakthroughs concerned with the IPv6. This is the Facebook page actually. The internet exchanges, one of the pioneers, actually the pioneer of the introduction of IPv6 was the UAX. Since 2012, the DTLAX joined the IPv6 and GigaNet. And tomorrow we'll have a panel dedicated to the IXs, and you'll receive more details on the internet exchange, since one of the topics is the IPv6 introduction actually. On the next slide I would like to show and speculate on the hubs of the route in Ukraine. There are 3 hubs of route in Kiev, one of them in Odessa and one in Kharkiv. A bit more details on Odessa hub, since we are in Odessa, and we would like to have a look at how it works. In 2014, one of the experts of the DNS, Stefan, performed research and discovered that the Odessa hub is the most is the most preferred one for queries from the entire world. It received 9% queries to the L routes from the entire world. Now the situation is a bit different. The most preferred service are others, but nevertheless, L route in Odessa receives a lot of traffic. This is you can see this you can see this picture on the slide. RIPE Atlas. RIPE Atlas is introducing the active measurement of traffic. For this, they use RIPE Atlas of this type and many of some other configuration devices, which any person can get, introduce into their network, and participate in the work of the platform for the measurement of traffic and other measurements around the globe, particularly very actively in Europe. In Ukraine, now we have 178 probes installed. They're located not very evenly, but still they reflect the internet situation of the internet in Ukraine. Speaking about the home traffic, recently it's becoming more and more topical. The research as to how the traffic passes, how the borders of the country comply with the map of the topography of the internet web, and the methodology is described on the left RIPE net. The laboratory that deals with the research within the RIPE community. This is how the traffic from Ukraine and to Ukraine looks like on the global map. Only IPv6 addresses are presented here, since there are not that many. And you can see them in a clearer way. The IPv4 traffic is more focused on the territory of Ukraine, which resembles the geographical map of Ukraine, but nevertheless there are routes that go off from Ukraine to Ukraine, but via other countries. If we present this in the diagram way, you can see that the red are the AS that are announced from the territory of Ukraine. In red, you can see the autonomous systems that peer via other countries. In green, you can see the autonomous systems that peer via the IX. Well, the goals for the decrease of the economic and political risks, so that the traffic from the country would stay within the country without touching other countries. But at least still there are issues upon which one can concentrate and improve the connectivity. Using the RIPE Atlas, we performed the research on the internet exchanges, and we identified the common traffic that passes through the IX. After following the UAX is 41.9%. The GigaNet constitutes 12%, detailed 12%, and Data IX, which is the net exchange that is located in Russia, but has hubs in Ukraine, is 1.4%. If you present this in the form of a matrix, this is how this matrix would look. The dark blue, within various colors, you can see here the traffic that goes through various internet exchanges. For tomorrow, one of the sections is dedicated to the internet exchanges, and in more details we can be able to talk about it tomorrow. Well, I'll think that I'm through with this issue. If you have any questions, yes, please. I've got a question as to the falsified usage of IPv6 for the public domain of second level. Does one need or must one use them? How to be if do you have any cases when the already existing name service would not go to IPv6 based on some principal position? No. Based on principal positions, no. No, we had the quite opposite. We propagate IPv6, and on the contrary, as the order placer, we were receiving our demands to have the IPv6 service. As we as administrators of the UA domain, we faced requests and offers to bring our service to in IPv6. Any special collisions with the IPv6 we didn't see. Can I clarify the current policy? Is it obligatory or desired? Yes, it's obligatory now. Thank you.
Hello, Coverage IPv6. First of all, I wanted to thank you for the great use of the measurement tools that we provide, and I wanted to ensure you that if there is anything we can help you to improve on them, or if there's any requests you have, we'll be more than happy to implement them. That's exactly the reason we are maintaining this whole set of tools, RIS, Atlas, and things like that. And I have two announcements to make relating to your presentation. One about RIPE Atlas probes. So if there are operators in the room who want to host an Atlas probe, you're free. They can get them one from the service desk, but please make sure that you connect them and enable them. And the second thing is about the K-root instances, because you mentioned L, and we don't have any K-root in Ukraine.
No,
but yes, but in May RIPE meeting we announced the expansion project, and now it's basically very simple and straightforward, and also cheap, basically. If you want to host, or any of the operators in the room, basically, if they want to host a K-root instance. So if you're interested in hosting a root server instance, please contact any of us, and we will send you to the right direction.
As regards the Atlas, I'd like to say that the changes that took place, well, there are some subjective issues there. Atlas is located not evenly through the network, and the goal also of the ENOG conference is to spread these devices so that we get better quality of measurements. Therefore, if you want to participate, you have a unique opportunity to receive the Atlas device and the consultation from the developers of the device, from those who run this project. So thank you.